In this tutorial we're going to be learning how to crochet the icicle stitch. You might also hear people call it the lark's foot stitch. Whatever it's called, it's really easy and beginner friendly, so let's get started. Start by making a slip knot using your preferred method, and then your starting chain needs to be a multiple of 4 plus 3. For the purposes of this tutorial I'm going for 27. To start row 1, make a double crochet. That's a US double crochet. They're known as trebles in the UK. So we're going to make a US double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So skip, skip, skip. So I've skipped 3, and in the 4th chain from the hook I'm going to make a double crochet. Then make a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So those 3 chains that we've skipped, they count as our first double crochet. So in total, including that starting chain, we've made 4 double crochets. Next, chain 1, skip 1, and work a double crochet into the next stitch. So I'm skipping this chain and I'm working a double crochet into the stitch after that. Then work a double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. So we're now going to repeat this across. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into each of the next 3 chains. So repeat that all the way across until you've only got 1 chain left unworked, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So I'm almost at the end of the row and I've got 1 chain left to work, and according to the stitch repeat we've been doing, where we've done 3 double crochets then a chain 1 skip 1, I should be doing a chain 1 here, but instead just work a double crochet into the final chain. So this is what your first row should look like. At either side of the row, so the start and the end of the row, you should have 4 double crochets. And then between your chain 1 spaces all the way along your row you should have 3 double crochets. So let's move on to row 2. So row 2 is pretty much the same as row 1. So start with a chain of 3, that counts as your first double crochet stitch, then turn your work over. Because we made this chain 3 that counts as our first double crochet, we don't need to make a double crochet into this first stitch. Instead, work a double crochet into the next stitch, and then work a double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So my next stitch is a chain 1, so whenever we get to a chain 1 on this row, we chain 1, skip 1, and then work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches, and repeat this along, working a chain 1, skip the chain space from the previous row, and then double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So repeat that all the way along until you're nearly at the end of the row, and I'll meet you here. So I'm almost at the end of row 2 and I've just worked 3 double crochets, and I've got 1 stitch left unworked, and that unworked stitch is the turning chain from row 1. So we counted that as a double crochet, so I'm going to make a double crochet into the top of it. So this is what your crochet should look like at the end of row 2, and these first 2 rows are setup rows. They're a little bit different to the icicle pattern that we're going to learn moving forwards. So I recommend fastening off and changing colours every 2 rows to get this pattern. So let's fasten off this colour together. So to fasten off this colour, make 1 chain, then snip your yarn, leaving a generous end to weave in later. Then use your crochet hook to pull that end through that chain 1, give it a little pull to fasten off this colour. We're now ready to join the next colour. So turn your work over and pull up the end of your next colour. So to join the next colour, we're going to put our crochet hook underneath both of the loops at the top of the stitch of the first stitch of the row. Then lay your yarn across the top of your crochet hook and use your hook to pull up a loop from nowhere, and we've successfully joined in our next colour. Don't forget to leave a long tail for weaving in later. So to start row 3, make a chain of 3. This counts as your first double crochet stitch. Then work a double crochet in the next stitch. Next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Next we're going to work a spike double crochet, and that is what gives us these spiky bits that drop down from our icicles for our icicle stitch. So to make a spike double crochet, yarn over and then put your hook in the chain 1 space of that row down there, of row 1. So we're not going in this chain 1 space here, we're going in this chain 1 space here. And when we put our crochet hook in, we're not doing this, we're going straight through our crochet. So I'm just going to put my hook into that chain 1 space there, like that, through to the back of the crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over all the way up here and pull a loop through, and then use your hook to keep pulling on that loop to bring it up to that same height as the previous stitch. So that's about the height it needs to be there. If you do this loop too tight, your crochet ends up really bumpy, so you need to be really generous here with how loose this yarn over is. You can see I've pulled it all the way up here. You can see it's almost to the height of the double crochets of this row. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that was our spike double crochet. Next, work a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to work another one of those spike double crochets into the chain 1 space of row 1. So yarn over, put your crochet hook into that chain 1 space, yarn over and pull up a loop, and keep pulling till you've extended it all the way up to where it should be if we were working this as a normal double crochet. And if in doubt, make it a little looser than you think. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Then make a double crochet in the next stitch. Now repeat this all the way across, so chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch, spike double crochet in the chain 1 space of row 1, then double crochet in the next stitch. So repeat that all the way across, and then I'll meet you back here after your final spike double crochet here in this final chain 1 space, and I'll show you how we finish off the row. So I've finished working my stitches all the way along the row, and I've just done my final spike stitch. You should now have 4 double crocheted left, remembering that this starting chain counts as a double crochet. So into the next stitch, work a double crochet, then chain 1, skip 1, and work a double crochet into the last 2 stitches. So there's 1 double crochet and then my final stitch in the top of that turning chain there. So that's row 3 finished, and let's move on to row 4. So row 4 is similar to row 2, but we start and end the rows differently. So start by making a chain of 3, that counts as your first double crochet stitch, then turn your work over. Skip this first stitch because remember this chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, then work a double crochet into the next stitch. My next stitch is a chain 1 space of the same colour, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1 and skip that chain 1 space. Then I'm going to work a double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And then we repeat this all the way along, so we chain 1, skip the chain 1 space from the row below, then work 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So repeat that all the way along, and I'll meet you once we're almost at the end of the row, and I'll show you how we finish off this row. So I've continued working along row 4, and I've just done a chain 1, skip 1 here, and I've only got 2 stitches left to work. So work a double crochet into each of those 2 stitches. And the final stitch is that starting chain again from the row below. So this is what your crochet should look like at the end of row 4. We're now going to fasten off and change colours just like we did at the end of row 2, beginning of row 3. So fasten off this colour, turn your work over and join our next colour to the first stitch, and then come back to this tutorial and I'll show you what's different for row 5. So I fastened off that colour and joined my new colour to the first stitch. We're now ready to start row 5. So to start row 5, make a chain of 3, that counts as your first double crochet stitch. Then work a double crochet into the next stitch. Our next stitch is a chain 1 space of the colour below, so we're going to work a spike double crochet into the chain 1 space down here in row 3. So I'm going to yarn over, put my hook into that chain 1 space through my crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, and keep pulling until that loop is the same height as your stitches up here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our spike double crochet done. Next, do a double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, work a double crochet in the next stitch, then work a spike double crochet in the chain 1 space of row 3. So I'm going down here to make that spike double crochet again, just as we've done previously. There's my spike stitch, then work a double crochet in the next stitch. And then repeat this along the row, doing a chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, then a spike double crochet in the chain 1 space from row 3, and then a normal double crochet. So repeat those steps all the way along, and I'll meet you once you've done your final spike double crochet in this final chain 1 space, and I'll show you how we finish off this row. So I've just worked my final spike stitch of the row, and then next I'm going to work a double crochet into the last 2 stitches, and that last stitch is our starting chain from the previous row. So this is what your crochet should look like at the end of row 5. Let's move on to row 6. So row 6 is the same as row 2, so start with a chain of 3, that counts as your first double crochet, then turn your work over, skip that first stitch because of our starting chain, and then work a double crochet into the next stitch, then work a double crochet into the next 2 stitches. You should now be at a chain 1 space, so chain 1, skip that stitch and work a double crochet into each of the next 3 double crochets, and repeat these steps across your row. So you do a chain 1 and a skip 1 whenever you come to a chain 1 space, and then work a double crochet into each of the stitches. So continue that all the way along, and I'll meet you at the end of this row and I'll explain what we do for our row repeats moving forwards. So here I am at the end of row 6, and I've just worked 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets in the last 4 stitches. So what we will do next is fasten off this colour, join a new colour, and then go back and repeat rows 3 and 4, change colours and repeat rows 5 and 6. And you're going to repeat rows 3, 4, 5 and 6 over and over again, changing colours every 2 rows until your crochet piece is the size that you want it to be. If you'd like to learn some more crochet stitches, I've got a whole playlist of them that I'll link up on your screen. I'll see you again next week.